What's going on, guys? Welcome back. The year was 2023, and as you know, Discard was one of the best, most consistent competitive decks in Marvel Snap. That is until American Chavez died, and with it, Discard died too. And you see, ever since the Day of Reckoning, Discard has been trying to find its place back in Marvel Snap, and it's been struggling a good amount because removing Chavez didn't just get rid of the deck thinning to make, draws more dependent, but MODOK played on 5. It would give you a good card to play on turn 6. On top of that, you'd also have Dracula to absorb a big power card. And then, yes, the deck thinning helped as well. So a lot of things got taken from a really good deck in Snap. But today we have the first puzzle piece to potentially build back some of this consistency. And does Miek provide just that? Today we're going to talk about the new era of Discard. What does Miek add to the table? We have more cards coming in February. But should you get Miek if you enjoy Discard or if you want to see the archetype arise again? Let's find out. Now, Miek is a 1-cost, 1-power card with the ability after each turn, if you discarded any cards, he's going to gain +1 power for each of those cards discarded. And on top of that, he'll be moving 1 time. This is after the turn has ended, right? So after this turn is when he will move and gain the power. Now, I tried to play a lot of Discard before Miek came out and then obviously after, and done a good amount of testing. And I actually think he's a great first step in the right direction for the archetype. And it definitely made the deck feel a little bit different. Yeah, I don't know about fully better, but definitely different. Now, right now, we can't chase exactly what dependable Discard is with Chavez. Those days are gone. But what does Miek add to the table? Let's talk about his star ratings. All right, now first up is the competitive category. And this is a bit tough to rank him here because he is obviously only meant to be within Discard. And so he's very limited. No surprise, his flexibility stars are going to be low. I'm only going to give him about a 2.5 here. I think he does punch up above that in Discard, and if you draw him at the right time, but he's not going to add crazy competition to Snap as a whole. I do think he's a great puzzle piece and a good card. We'll get to that here in a bit, but 2.5 is probably his competitive scale. But again, for like usual Snap, I would say he's a 2.5, but if we're going to just be regards of his best deck, then maybe he could punch up to 3-star. Now, as far as the fun factor, Discard doesn't have a lot of cards that scream fun. I think Swarm and Gambit, those type of cards are fun. Miek does add a little bit of randomness to Discard, which I like. Anytime you see a 1-cost card go up to pretty high power too, it can be pretty cool to see that. So, we'll give him about a 2.5 here as well. Now, unfortunately, his flexibility is exactly what you think it would be. We're going to give it a 1-star, which is even lower than something like Hercules that could flex into a couple of decks. Yes, he does have that niche movement ability, but guys, he's mainly going to be played in Discard, and not even mainly. He's going to be played in Discard decks, and that's about it. So he's as limited as they come in regards of new cards. And then lastly, we have the adjustment category. How likely is it that he's nerfed or buffed? I'm going to be honest, guys, I don't really think he's going to be nerfed or buffed. I think he does well for a 1-cost card in the deck, in the synergy. I'm probably going to give him like a 4.5, maybe even 5-star here. He feels about right for what he cost. Now, hearing all that, you probably think, okay, so he sucks. We can safely skip. And for the most part, you could probably skip this week if you don't play Discard. I'll show them on screen right now. These 2 cards are coming out in February that have Discard synergy. If these, tickle your fancy at all, then maybe you want to go ahead and consider getting Miek as well to complement the cards in the future. If you play Discard, though, I think you get him. I think no question, if you enjoy the Discard archetype, he's going to add to it, and he definitely provides some fun for sure. However, guys, let's go ahead and talk about his best combos and the decks that I think he actually works really well in. Now, as far as Miek support, he doesn't have any really MVP best cards to play with him, but he definitely has ones that he prefers than others. Now, MODOK is probably his best synergized card. No surprise here, MODOK gets rid of a ton of cards at once. You could play them together on turn 6 for a pretty huge upswing that you'll see in some games today, and definitely just felt like the best synergized card overall. Any of the discard options, Hellcow, Calling Wing, Sif, Swordmaster, Blade, all of these are going to be good to really pump up Miek's numbers. But with that, we have the cards like Swarm and Apocalypse. Now, obviously, Swarm and Apocalypse can be discarded multiple times, and you can get Miek up to some kind of crazy numbers, and then get a lot of Swarms and get a big high Apocalypse. So all these have very natural synergy. Morbius is clearly going to synergize because you're trying to get both of them to have as many discards as possible, alongside Wong. Now, Wong, if you played the beta or you played early Snap, Wong was kind of the greedy card. I don't think is the case as much these days. Cosmo's not played a ton. Yes, you have Enchantress and Rogue, but Wong really amplifies discard these days, and I think he's worth the risk. Now, I don't know if you use Zabu all the time. That's going to be up to the deck specifically. But Wong felt really good in a lot of the decks I was playing, and definitely like him as kind of an option pick, flex pick in discard. Lastly, we have Storm, who also works in discard, and then Miek can move into Storm. Craven could be considered a synergized card, but I think he's actually more of a counter than anything else. But, you know, feel free to play some Craven. Dracula is not going to help him out, guys. Dracula happens at the end of the game, which does not have Miek move. So do keep that in mind. And then lastly, something like Black Cat is a free discard, so you can never hate that. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about the decks with Miek. Now, you guys should know how to play discard. If you don't, I've got a huge ultimate discard guide you guys can check out. It's mostly relevant outside of Chavez. When it comes to when you want to play him, obviously he's better played early, but if you get him out before MODOK, to me, it always felt like he got his value. But by far, there were a couple decks that really stood out, and they were extremely competitive. I think they're actually not bad decks at all. Let's go ahead and hop in. Now, as you guys know, the base discard builds don't change all that much, but we have MDGA, make discard great again. And there's a good amount of flex options in this build to kind of suit different play styles and or consistency, but this is by far been my favorite Miek deck, no question. We have a lot of different things working all together, great curve, and a ton of power that's kind of unexpected. We definitely do have our counters, but let's go ahead and talk about some of the best qualities of the deck and how it works all together. I want to go ahead and talk about quickly these MVPs in this deck and all the win conditions in it. First of all, this one I'm playing does have Wong, so obviously a bit greedy somewhat, but you're going to have a much higher chance to have big cube wins, which I prefer over the dependable version. But on top of that, you have Dracula to get nice big power. Morbius can get to crazy stats, especially with Wong. You've got Miek now to build up nice and big, and then you kind of throw it all together, and you can just erase the entire board with Gambit. So a bunch of different things working at play rather than just pure stats. However, a good amount of people tend to play it a bit aggressively and early when you want to be patient with this deck and just play it out to make sure you have the best discards going on. You know, your Dawkins is getting nice and big, things like that. If you want to go the more dependable route, though, I would definitely stick to something like this. This is going to be just the stock best discard deck. Wolverine is out, Miek is in, and it's been performing pretty good for me as well. I like the upside of Wong, especially if I can abuse them in something like Conquest where they don't have a Cosmo. Altogether, the deck does work very similar to the first one and just a good dependable option. Lastly, I would just have to say about both decks, don't be afraid to play MODOK on the last turn, especially with something like Miek, or play into the Wong, all of your cheap discard options. Really learning when to play your Swarm, when not to play your Swarm, when to play your Dracula is how you kind of master this deck as a whole. Now, I do want to say, we have some flex options outside of just the Wong and Hellcow. You can slot in Collector here for a lot of fun. Zabu can go into the deck, and then you can put in another 4-cost. Something like Iron Lad works good with Miek and or some of your discard options to give you more of those. Any of the support cards we just covered can work. So try to make your own, but this one was definitely the one that I had some of the most fun with. Now, lastly, I don't have like a deck build ready to go right now, but there is like this crazy power Miek deck if you want to just have like all the fun. I had to show it to you guys, where Collector and Morbius are kind of doing the heavy lifting, and then you go with a Wong into Mystique, into Gambit, into potentially Odin. You've got Magic in the deck to give you more turns, but I'm definitely working like the magnificent, huge, massive Miek deck soon. So is Miek like a must-get card? Is it taking discard to like new meta heights? No, not yet, but I do think he is, like I said at the beginning, a puzzle piece in the right direction. I won against decks that are really good tier 1 decks. I lost against decks that were kind of tier 2 decks, like a Surfer deck. So it's kind of in the middle ground. It's consistent. It can win big, but it also depends on luck some of the time with your draws and kind of what's happening all together. Definitely is going to be nice for the future, though. Let's go and show you guys some games and how he works. There's some fun ones here. Alrighty, guys, we have Muir Island, Miek, Dawkins. Really good setup and start here. Let's get Miek down early. A Nebula could be high Evo, which means it could be Leech, so we got to kind of keep an eye out for that. Nothing good yet. We have Dawkins here. We most definitely will play MODOK on 5. Nope, it is a discard deck as well. And we have Vibranium. Okay, we actually have some stuff cooking here. I think we actually play our Dawkins now. We want him to build up power as soon as possible. I think we're actually going to snap too. We want to put the pressure on this guy before we reveal that we have a much better hand. Exactly. We want to leer him in. Damn Black, thanks for playing. I have no idea if I'm going to win this, but we feel okay about it. We know exactly what we're doing next turn.
Wind, aid my hand.
What's tough about this is that if I kill... yeah. I mean, Dracula mid is going to be, you know, not all she wrote, but pretty hard for him to come back from. We could Gambit now. This is probably our ideal play. And then we Gambit later on. I mean, yeah, anytime you can put a Drac. He's probably going to put a Drac too, for what it's worth. He does not. We got Lady Sif. Okay, so if we Modok, I think we want to Gambit. I think we want to go Gambit or Blade into Gambit. I think so, right? This is probably it. Our Dracula isn't really big because we don't have APOC. This Gambit hit is everything. Anything but Storm and or Blade. Oh, God. Okay, so that's going to move again. We have Morbius as well. I think, guys, this will be enough to win. It depends what he plays left side. But I think this is enough to win. Because we're going to get rid of the Shard. Does he have a Wolverine? Unreal. Yo, that was the biggest 5-head. I thought when we got rid of our MODOK, we were definitely out of here. Like, we lost no matter what. Especially because we didn't have APOC. We had nothing big to go into the flood location, but we didn't. That's where it's nice that Miek doesn't move. So it's kind of like a catch-22. That was a awesome dub. All right, so we're getting things started here. We have a Wong, Dawkin, Dracula, and APOC. We got the MODOK top deck as well. Now we're going against top deck Miek, so there you go. Then we have Mojo in the middle. So not a lot we could do with our first few turns here. Kind of bad draw. Don't have any of our bottom options. Well, our friend over here is going off with his curve. But that's okay. Dawkin and or Gambit. Gambit has good value here, but let's get Dawkin down now. Gonna go Wong in the middle. Then we have Morbius. So let's go... Morbius left side. And then we Gambit now. I mean, obviously we can hit Wolverine. That would hurt. But we can get Morbius and or Drac here, which would be insane. Get rid of the Blade. That's fine. Bam. We got rid of Morbius. Huge. We got the APOC. And... ah, bummer. And he goes right. Okay, okay. So we have Miek into MODOK. This is what I was thinking. This could be pretty crazy here, right? Because you go... except Miek is going to move. I guess we could just risk his movement and go with this. We want him in this location for sure. We proc it. He moves out of there. Dawkins going to go to crazy power. And then he can either join Mojo in the middle or he goes left. We're not getting like crazy power out of this, but this should be enough to win.
I am reborn.
So it doesn't matter what Apocalypse is in the middle. So we won either way. Outside of, I guess, is Miek gonna go middle? Okay, interesting. I mean, we're good either way, because if this goes mid, yeah. And there we go, guys. So definitely using Miek to our advantage. Trying to help us out a little bit. Gambit really helped out there to even out the stakes. We got a dub, even with a late Miek. Miek and MODOK together. I'm telling you, it's not a bad combo. We play 13 power, and we won the game. Oh, Tarnix 4, always a great, great location, especially with Swarm, because we can get multiple 2-drops into that. I like this a lot. All right, let's get Morbius mid. Keep things spicy and surprised. He's going to do exactly what we want to do. This is insanity. Insanity. Can't talk. Okay. Ooh, Sakar, interesting. I think we go... Oh, man, this is tough. We really don't want any of these cards to drop now. I suppose we go with this and see what happens. I guess the Gambit's not terrible either. But because he has all the swarms, let's go with this. And then if it drops MODOK, great. If it drops a free swarm, that's fine. It drops the Gambit. Oh, and he got rid of... Okay. He's going to have a lot of swarms for what it's worth. And his Meek's going to go insane here. Watch. I can't talk. Watch the Gambit kill the Miek. I mean, he didn't want to do that. Oh, man. That was the worst card to kill. That's a bummer. Okay, so that goes up to 5. I'm probably going to snap. And let's play Wong here. Do we play these guys yet? I think we can play one of them. I suppose, right? Or we could just wait to play them all at the end. Cool, we don't care what he kills. Okay. And what the heck's here again? Morbius and Blade. Okay. So... this should be pretty crazy. This gets... So, I mean, I wish we had our Miek, but we don't. I guess we could wait. Did we do this? No. We have to do this now. Let's go ahead and play this now. I mean, Morbius in the middle has won the game. That side is winning. Tarnix is more for fun, right? I mean, look at all these swarms. It's ridiculous. Yo, how big is Morbius right now? Okay, so we just chunk them all in here. We chunk one there. I guess we can save the one to discard, although that doesn't really do anything, right? Watch one of these become Morbius as well. Do we throw them all mid? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, guys, here we freaking go. I hope he stays. I hope he stays for the content. I don't care if I lose this. Because, like, we're only winning right side by we're tying it, but his Miek has to move. Yes! Okay, here we go. Zabu. Okay, that's not a great hit. Not a good hit. What? Okay. So we won no matter what, because our Morbius is, I don't know how much. The cloak is insane. Star-Lord, let's go! Lizard, not great. Oh my god. There's no way we lose this. I don't care. Our Morbius is 1,000,000 power. What's this card? It's just a swarm, yeah? And then Miek goes there. It's 1922. Okay. Well, hold on here. His Miek's going to be pretty damn big. This is going to be tight. Oh, we're good. We're good. We're really good. We got to be good. Oh, let's go. Okay, so his Miek didn't move. Going through those swarms. Am I confused? Why am I confused? Oh, duh. These are at the end of the game, so this doesn't matter. And so it won't move Miek because it's when everything's resolved. I was so confused for a second. So like, Miek should have moved middle. Didn't matter anyway. We got the dubs from the huge Morbius, who is often overlooked as one of the best 2-costs in the game. We lost the Tarnix battle, but we won the rest. All right, so we have Miek in our hand. We got to love that. We have MODOK, Lady Sif, and APOC. So far, this is looking good. Let's get Miek down now. Anytime we get the Lady Sif Modok APOC combo, we love what we have.
Enough said, bub.
And that would be a great time to play Stature, by the way. If you're watching this and you don't have Miek, play Stature because everyone's playing Miek. We have Jotunheim, which rip for Dracula. Can't do anything this turn. We'll skip. Probably go Dawkin next turn. Maybe Lady Sif if we pull Drac. Okay, we got a Miek off here, guys. And then a Holla. Let's go. I think I'm fine with going Dawkin now. I'm trying to decide where I want him. I think this is fine. I was going to try to lose this, and then I can use the shard in there instead. But now we got a little bit of a face-off. He's going to definitely put both swarms in there, so this could be a little bit tough. Okay, Miek's going mid. That's good for us. And then we have our Drac there. So if we pull in... He's probably going to dump both swarms, so we might have to just let Dawkin die. He might just have to take one for the team, guys. Which is sad, but you know what? It's okay. We can live. I think, do we just abandon ship there? I think so. And even though this is going to take a couple hits, we're going to go Drac middle. Okay, so he Dracs in the middle too. He kills our Dawkin. We're going to live. And then we have Colleen Wing. Okay, so hear me out. If we go Morbi and Sif now, and then last turn we just play Modok, that's a pretty good play. I think we're going to move. There we go. Okay, okay. So I'm the New York makes things complicated, but I don't see a world where I'm afraid of what he could do. So we're just going to play this right here, and then our Drac goes to insane. Our Morbius goes up a good amount. I guess we're kind of risking things a little bit here, but I think we've got plenty of gas in the engine here. He moves Hellcat. Okay, this is perfect, huh? He doesn't even have anything in his hand. Maybe we should have snapped.
I am reborn.
And then Miek is just going to gain a few power and go into the middle because now we know where he's going to go. So we have like a bit more of a dependable Miek. But yeah, his Dracula's gaining literally nothing. And then we get 24 and 26. Kind of insane. Except it adds to the power now, right? So it's 22 he's getting there. Cool. Well, anyway, guys, definitely another great showcase.
Victory.
And gets another discard deck. But it's cool, man. When you have Miek working with Dracula, working with Morbius, you have to know when to be patient. But other than that, it's pretty damn good. And we've got Fisk Tower, too. So we're not going to play anything yet. We're going to play the patience game for now. These are swapping positions anyway. We're probably going to go with Dawkin next turn. Oh my gosh. If we can top deck Gambit, guys, this is going to be insanity over here. This fills out our hand. I don't know if we want to do that. I think we just go Morbius, left side. This is all going to change anyway, so we'll see where this all goes. Okay, he prevents the change. Gambit with Wonk here can wipe the board, guys. Okay, okay, okay. Let's Wong it out now. He's snapping. We need to get the right cards here. Gambit. Modok is pretty nasty too, because we have Morbius. Okay. APOC. Guys. Okay, let's go Miek into Dawkin. We get... Oh my gosh. Okay, so if we do this, this is probably enough. If we go Miek into Lady Sif, we get APOC to 1,000,000. This is going to discard 1 billion times. This is probably really good. Not even probably. This is definitely good.
Hail Hydra!
Oh my gosh. He has a lot of shards, and you have Kamartaj giving 2 more shards. Can he even get that many? No, he can only get 1 more. Okay. Obviously, these Dawkins are going to be massive. It really stinks because we can't Gambit here
Apocalypse!
and do the APOC. We can actually put up a fight where we need to.
I am reborn.
MODOK. Oh my gosh, I don't even know, guys. I think he's just gonna win, but we do it for science. I think we do it for science because then... Oh no, we have another turn. Oh my god. Okay, we go Dracula now. Right? We play nothing. Or do we play... Yeah. We go Dracula now mid. We snap. This is gonna be just... We're gonna lose. We have to put Dracula here, actually. We gotta challenge one of his docking locations, and we'll do it there. I think we're gonna lose this. I also messed up because I didn't get rid of Swarm, but that's okay. Okay. This is probably insane. I mean, our Dracula... this is so bad. I think I misplayed the Drac. Our Drac can obviously get the wrong card. But I think this is... that we have to do this, guys. We have to do this. So we're going to go... Blade. Then MODOK. And just risk 8 for it. And watch chaos happen. Let's do it. This is about to be insanity.
Apocalypse!
This is what makes Marvel Snap fun. You know, you could do the crazy stuff. Look at this. What are we at? Okay. So we have a 36 APOC. Where are you going, Miek? Oh my gosh, we're doing it again. Scratch that. We have a 40 APOC. Scratch that. Oh my god. This is going to be intense. Where are you going, Miek? How big is Miek here? You had no way to get rid of him? No, Miek. No. Yo, that man just killed the chance of greatness. The chance of greatness. I don't even know. How many did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We must have done that a couple of times. Miek was going to be like 20 something, right? And funny enough, this actually hit our APOC. Would we have won? APOC would have been 46. That's 90 to 30. I think we would have lost either way. Oh, man. That crushed me. We got to leave that in, though. That's going to be it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. And Miek, if you guys have not already, it would mean a lot if you guys subscribe, as we have a big year planned for Marvel Snap. A lot of big announcements to come. Wishing you guys a good one, a great one. Until the next one, happy snapping.